Hello, everybody. To everyone out there, having doing a little live, seeing who's about. If anyone fancies a chat, we are live on YouTube. Do that one so we can see who's about. Come and join us. Join us, won't you? Join us. Have a little share, see who's about. So it's Tuesday evening. I've just done a podcast. I've just done a Smoky Mountain for a few weeks' time. The good lady is at work, so I'm just spending the next. Well, I'll see who's about, and then we'll see if anyone wants to chat about stuff, wrestling. That's the dog, if you didn't notice, wrestling and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah. So the clocks have gone back now here in jolly old. I don't know if they have in America. If you're an American fan, I think. I can't remember when they go back. I think it's like a week's difference. Come and say hello. Yes, the clock's going back, so it's dark now, like 5 o'clock ish. But it's light, kind of 6:30, and that'll change again soon. I think when it gets light at 7 in the morning, and then it's going to be dark at like 3:30 soon, probably like another month time. So that's all good. Winter. Hopefully, we get a winter this year. We haven't had much of a winter. A couple of years really. So like. It's now, as I'm recording this, it's 20th of October. I work outside, I cut grass, I stream my hedge cut, all that good jazz. I'm still cutting grass at the end of October. Probably shouldn't be, but that's happening. So that is that. The weather is okay-ish. It's been a bit cold now. The weather has turned, definitely, but poor folks out there in Jamaica, probably as we speak, are getting battered by 200 mile an hour, 200 kilometre winds and all that kind of horribleness in Jamaica. So sending all the good stuff over to Jamaica. Hopefully everyone gets okay. What does that do? Share screen, mute. Oh, I just see them because I've always streamed live from OBS. I've never really done it on YouTube. I've done it through OBS for YouTube, and there's always a lag. So this is quite good, I'd say. No lag. But yeah, so wrestling wise, went to my first Rise show in, I'm going to say 6 years, this past Saturday, up in Sheffield in the Pedlar Warehouse. Went with Peter Hammond, a buddy over in Hull Beach, about an hour and 3/4 away. We went up to Sheffield on Saturday afternoon-ish and saw the double header, Games of Death. The first show was 8 first round one-on-one matches, death matches, and then the afternoon or the evening show there was 3 non-tournament death matches, and then 4 semi-finals, and then a final. So very deathmatch a very deathmatch heavy show, which you'd kind of expect from a deathmatch tournament. But yeah, there was light tubes, glass, darts, bicycles. Madman Pondo was there, Mickey Knuckles, Casanova Valentine from the States. Was it from the States? I think. Then there was the Brit Death guys, Big F and Joe, Jack Harrop, Iceman, Jack Bennett, B.A. Rose. There was a German dude deck. I do apologize, can't remember his name, but very impressed with him. First time I've seen him. Drew Parker, Michael Caden, John Ryan, who's like an old school, not old school, he was busy during the middle 2000s kind of thing down in London. I think John Ryan was. Actually, while we're here, I will see if he's got a cage match. Good old trusty cage match. John Ryan from Kent. Started wrestling in 1998, trained by Andre Baker. So the old Hammerlock studio, the old Hammerlock fraternity. and he has wrestled for Hammerlock. Corner Cage match. He was part of the legendary Transatlantic Wrestling Challenge. Oh, what a thing of beauty that was. Was that the thing that had Ruckus? No, that wasn't the one. Sin. Was that Sin? Yeah. So that Ruckus. What? That's not CZW Ruckus, is it? No, I don't remember seeing that bit. But there was Sin, Magic, who was a British guy. Sin was Chris Champion, who was also Yoshi Kwan, Gary Steele. I don't remember seeing Tony Kazana in there. But there's a few shows where they've taped here. Paul Volt, Nikita. Yeah, so John Ryan was part of that. I didn't know John Ryan was part of that. Yes, he was basically wrestled in Kent and still wrestles today. Don't want to say how old he is. Middle 40s, I'd say, maybe. But he was there, part of the show. Iceman, Jack Harrop, Jack Bennett, B.A. Road. Yeah, it's all nice to see. Obviously, I follow a lot of the guys on social media, follow a few of the fans on social media. So you got Emerald Neon Suicida, Ellie, Paz, Lucy, Jonathan, Pete, John. All those guys were there who would go to the go to the Rice shows regularly. I'd love to go to Rice shows regularly, but they're 4 hours away basically, and that's a long way to go. So then have to come back, and you're not coming back. You're not home till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, which I wasn't on Saturday. The clocks went back, so I left Pete's at 1:15 in the morning to get back. So I left there I think it was like 12:45 to come back home, which was an hour 45 minutes away. But it said I was going to be home by 1:25. But it then told me the journey was like an hour 45 minutes because obviously there was the clocks going back. So I'd never been. Maybe I've been. I think because I used to work nights. Maybe I've been awake once, maybe for a time change. But it was weird. Like you drive along, and I kind of knew it was going to happen. So I looked, and the clock changed to. It was like 1:59. It changed to 2, and then immediately changed to 1. It's like, oh my god! It's like quantum leaps going to happen or something. But yeah, that was all good fun. Lots of blood, there was an explosion, there was bicycles being used, there was glass, there was tacks, there was there wasn't much barbed wire, there was a little bit of barbed wire. No tables, there were sort of tables made out of, putting 2 chairs up against each other and some tubes and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things, if you're a fan of it, you enjoy it. If you're not, 1, why would you go? And 2, why would you go to a show that you don't want to go to? I know. So why would you go to a show? But yeah, so a lot of people don't like deathmatch because they just think it's blood and gore and all that kind of stuff. But to me, it's artistry. It's different. The guys and gals, because there's gals who do it as well. They're not just sort of having a bump in a ring. They're having a bump in a ring with glass everywhere. People will get legitimately cut, and some people will get cut like they'll get a shard of glass just go near them, and they'll be Casanova Valentine, I think, had a bit of a nasty cut on him. Danny Darko 2 weeks ago took a just a normal light tube, he says, to his shoulder here. I think he took it to the head, but there was such a big lot of tubes. The Iceman went bash like that, and Danny Darko got cut here and legitimately got cut, massive cut here on his trapezius, collarbone kind of thing, and he had to have stitches inside and then stitches outside. But he was in hospital for a few hours. Last year, I was with we did the Big Joe Backyard Bash, and Jack Bennett got hit on the head with tubes and got cut and blood everywhere. Luckily the hospital was kind of over there, but I had to drive him to the hospital. So that's it's an art strip as always, as normal wrestling will be. There is freak accidents, there is things that will happen, and but with deathmatch it kind of adds to the gore and all that kind of stuff. So that was good fun. 2 weeks before that, I went to WAW up in Norwich for their Fightmare 7 show. They had like a 3-show kind of weekend. I went to one of their shows purely to see Big F and Joe versus Rhino, the Rhino, because obviously fan of Rhino, Big Joe's my buddy, so I wanted to see him have his big match against Rhino. That was okay. There was incident after. If you follow Lou Nixon on YouTube, you can find out all about that. But there was an incident. But yeah, it was 10 matches. You could have lost a couple of matches, and the show would have been okay. Paige Saraya, whatever her name is, she came over because obviously that's her family's promotion. She was a referee, I think, for the main event. But yeah, there's a lot of multi-man matches that probably didn't need to be there, but WAW will always put on people on the shows, so everyone gets a chance, I guess. But why have 10 matches when you could have had a 7-match card, and the guys could have put on a little bit longer and all that kind of stuff. But what am I? Who am I? I'm just a mark. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a fucking schmoop. So that's that. Probably it for wrestling this year. Kind of wrestled out, especially modern wrestling, because I watch old wrestling, and that's very different. And you watch modern wrestling now, and it's very different, and it's kind of all a bit samey. And there's a possibility of there's a show up the road that way. Cameras around the wrong way. Up in Holt. Come and say hello, everybody. Just say, I can see there's 3 of you here. Just say hello. The chat is on, so you can have a chat. But yeah, there's a show up in Holt, the end of November. Might go to Big Top Wrestling, putting on a show in Holt, last one of the year. They're a local promotion that run Holt, Sheringham, Cromer. Mate, it's in the summertime as well, but their shows that they do are usually fun, featuring sort of local talent and that kind of good stuff. One half, because I think Big Dave's done now because of his big heart attack he had in the summer. But Big Mike Bulk is wrestling probably. He's there. Big F and Joe's wrestling. Jack Landers is wrestling. He's young, but he's been going now at least 10 years. I think Jack's been going. Used to be Jack Hammer. Now he's Jack Landers. Been to Japan. Wrestled for one of the independent promotions in Japan this year, I believe. He went this year. So he's wrestling. He's a Fallen Star trainee, but he's now going on to bigger and better things. No disrespect to Fallen Star. But yeah, so that's happening. So that might be it. And then next year, there's probably very few shows I'm going to go to. I'd like to go to a CXW show down in Essex. Their shows look fun, and there's a sort of mix of deathmatch, and they have extreme shows, and sort of a deathmatch and kind of that kind of stuff. So I might go down to there. But yeah, next year I'm 40 in August 2026. And on the 10th of July, I'm going to see System of a Down down in London. Their tickets went on sale back in September. I managed to get in the queue and got tickets, and it was all good. So that's happening next year. It's one thing to look forward to. I think we're booking a holiday as well for next year. No, exciting. Up north, up in Newcastle, I think we're trying to go to. We went on holiday this year. We went down to Weymouth, and we like to go when we do have holidays, because times are hard, baby, hard times. We like to alternate. So one year we go north, next year we go south, following year we go north, next year we go south. Very rarely do we have a holiday in the middle. But yeah, so that's that. What's just happening? WWE, I don't really follow. I'll kind of look at the results on Cage Match on a Tuesday morning or a Saturday morning, whatever it is, and see what's kind of happened. I was watching it early in the year. I watched the Rumble because it was on Netflix. I watched Rumble. I watched Mania, and then I think Mania put of. I did watch Crown Jewel the other week. That was really good, actually. I think Mania put a lot of. I think it put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths because of the Cena shit and the Travis Scott and all that kind of jazz. And then, like a month later, or whatever, it was just doesn't happen, doesn't exist. The only reason it's kind of remembered is because of the that Netflix thing that they did, the documentary kind of thing they did. Otherwise, people just go, "What? What happened? What? What? John Cena did what?" But yeah, so obviously Saturday Night's Main Event is happening this Saturday. And then John Cena's only got 2 or 3, 4 appearances left. I think he finishes in the middle of December in the next Saturday Night's Main Event. But yeah, I enjoyed Crown Jewel. Because it was handy because it was in Australia. It was on at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, so I could sit here and watch it. I don't have to get up and watch it or watch it the next day. I'll watch same as I'll probably watch this year's Rumble, next year's Rumble, because it's on. Is it the one in Saudi? I think it's in Saudi, so that'll be it'll be on at a decent time. So I might watch Survivor Series because it's Survivor Series and then they've got. I would imagine there's rumours that they'll have war games and all that kind of jazz, but I'll watch that on a Sunday afterwards because it's on. I think it's on a Saturday. But yeah, I don't follow AEW. Again, I kind of look at the results on a Thursday morning and go, "Oh, right, yeah, that happened." I don't watch it. Yeah, modern wrestling kind of. But I suppose it'll be something that in 20 years' time, people will be doing podcast. People like me who do old school or who do like retro podcasts. In 20 years' time, people will be talking about today's wrestling, probably not as fondly as I talk about old school wrestling, but yeah, that's still there. So it is what it is. People enjoy it, people watch it, people pay a ridiculous amount of money to go to the shows. Drink Coke. Send me some Coca-Cola. People, complain about it, but yeah, pay a ridiculous amount of money to go to the shows, especially unless you're that green shirted fuck who's at the front row of every fucking show because he's sponsored by him or some fucking bullshit. Yeah, so that's that. Podcasts are doing well. Saturdays we've got Memphis Continental Wrestling Cast. We're currently the fall of 1986. As of Saturday, we will be November 1986. Sunday, so that's on the Place to Be Wrestling Network. Sunday is Heat Stroke, which isn't on the Place to Be Wrestling Network. It's on its own feed. But we're covering. I say we. It's me. I'm by myself. I do it all by myself. But I say we. We're covering Sunday Night Heat from back in the day. That will be the 4th of November, I think, 1998. Yeah, I think I'm just about. I'll have a quick look to see where I am while that loads up. Yeah, so that's that, and then Mondays back on the Place to Be Wrestling Network are either Monday Night Project or Hamburg All Stars. I think this week's going to be Monday Night Project covering WWF. Let me just have a look because the email hasn't been sent out yet. The email is scheduled to be sent out on Thursday. We are covering a Monday Night Project. We are covering February the 3rd, 1991 WWF Challenge. And then we've also got Smoky Mountain on top of Old Smoky. That is happening. We are covering the 15th and 22nd of August, 1992. And then Memphis will be the 2nd of November, I believe. The 1st of November. Remember the 1st of November. So that's happening there. And then Heat Stroke is going to be covering November the 1st, 1998. So we're covering a whole range of, and then obviously I'm crossing the Atlantic. We're covering 1992. That came out today, June the 12th and 19th, 1982. So I'm covering 1979 WWF. I'm covering 1982 Mid-Atlantic. I'm covering 1992 Smokey. I'm covering 1991 WWF. I'm covering 1998 WWF. And I'm covering 1986 Memphis. So I'm covering a whole range of territories, years, decades. So I'm covering basically 70s, 80s, and 90s for the time being. It'll soon be 80s and 90s because the 79 Hamburgs will finish, I think, the end of the year kind of thing. So that's it. I'm enjoying it. Heatstroke's kind of struggling with listeners, but it's on Patreon and it's on the free feed, but it's also free to listen to on Patreon. So I'm just trying to take it away from Patreon and have it on its own free feed. But it's just struggling to pick up listens. I've had the most an episode has had so far is 2. Which isn't great for your, mental health and kind of stressing out about shit and all that kind of stuff. Recording it's a piece of piss. Watching it, talking about it, recording it is a piece of piss. And editing, because I don't really do a lot of editing. Because to me, I get rid of the gaps because there's not too much gaps in anything. But if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I'm human. I'm by myself. If I say something and then I have a look on Cage Match or something and it's wrong, I don't go back and edit that I've made a mistake, because we're all fucking human. We all make mistakes. The sound quality to me is pretty good and all that kind of stuff's good. So just keep it in. I just try and take out all the little silences if I can. So that's the easy part. The difficult part is getting people to listen. I share on Instagram. I share on Facebook. I share occasionally on here. I share on my feed on Facebook. I share on the old bakery group page. I then share on at least anything between 4 and 10 groups, depending on the podcast I'm doing. Come and say hello. Say hello, have a chat, because otherwise I'm talking to myself as always. But trying to get people to listen, because obviously it's a wrestling podcast, which is a niche. I'm then talking about old wrestling, which is a niche. I'm then also talking about Memphis, which is a niche in a niche in a niche, or Mid-Atlantic, which is a niche in a niche in a niche, or you're talking about, you're trying. Yeah, so it's all very difficult. That's the worst bit of it for me is, you share it, but then no one else is sharing the share. I look at my number, I can see my numbers on my phone or on the computer of what the place to be kind of gets, those podcasts, and the numbers never change. It's their steady numbers, which is good, but they never change. So I'm sharing to people, but then they're just going, whatever. Or, you share on Facebook, but some people will like it, but what I want, or what I kind of would need, would be people then to share the share. So then their friends, who aren't necessarily my friends, who might be interested in wrestling, could then potentially see it. To me, it's all word of mouth, same as podcasts. Like, I listen to Our Vantage Point, which is a very good podcast. I used to listen to Booking the Territory. I don't anymore. It was kind of getting annoying about they were talking about the things other than wrestling. That's kind of annoying. But I found out about Booking the Territory through one of the Jim Cornette podcasts that I used to listen to years ago. I don't listen to Corny so much now because he's just a bit negative and all that kind of jazz. You don't kind of need it all the time. So used to listen to Corny because it's corny. They would then plug Booking the Territory because of Brian Last's connection, I think, to Booking the Territory. I think there was a connection there once. Mike Mills used to go on Brian O'Brien's podcast or something like that. Yeah, they used to do fucking, goddamn, they used to do Mid-South. They used to do Mid-South podcast. So Mike Mills and Brian Last used to do a Mid-South podcast. So Brian would share Mike's Booking the Territory on Corny. You then listen to Booking the Territory, and they would promote Our Vantage Point. You go on Our Vantage Point, listen to that, and the structure of their shows changed a little bit now. But the show they used to promote other shows, so that every 10 episodes they would promote other shows. So they would promote Greetings from Allentown. That's how I found out about Greetings from Allentown. They would promote me, or they would promote my Memphis show when I only had one show. Now I've got 6. They would promote me. So that's that's how I know I got a few of my listeners. I had Don Depinier and a few other guys. I know they came from our Vantage Point, but no one seems to. So I promote the Place to Be Wrestling Network on my shows. I promote the Backbone Run, the North South Connection, blah blah blah. I promote Greeks from Allentown. I promote Between the Sheets, and I promote our Vantage Point. No disrespect to any of those guys, but the same isn't done in return for me. But I'm too much of a cunt to complain about. I'm a cunt to complain about it, but I'm too much of a nice person to stop doing it. But something needs to give. But I'm trying to be too much of a nice guy for it to be me. But I will happily complain on here, and again, no one's fucking watching. But I will happily complain that the same isn't done in return. And when I promote the shows, if someone's got an issue with like the style of podcast I do, or if my sound is shit, or this, that, and the other, tell me, and then I can try and fix it, if you will. I know I'm never going to be a Cornette. I'm never going to be a Conrad. I'm never going to be a Chris Van Valley. I'm never going to be a fucking James Romero. I'm never going to be a fucking whatever, because I don't have the production. I don't have the help. I don't have the former star. I don't have sponsors. I don't have this, that, and the other. I'm English. Look at my face. I'm missing teeth. I swear a lot. I know I'm never going to be the fucking number one, but I just want to be like in the conversation. So if someone goes, "Oh yeah, I used to watch Memphis wrestling," and someone goes, "Oh yeah, you should listen to the fucking that British guy. He talks about it. He watches the shows and he runs a commentary and all that kind of stuff." "Oh, okay, I'll give it a listen. Sure. Oh yeah, wrestling. Yeah, Hulk Hogan and Undertaker and all that kind of shit. Oh, you should listen to fucking, our Vantage Point. And then, you should listen to this British guy. He talks about fucking, WWF from 1991. And that's all I've ever wanted, is to be in the conversation. But it's so fucking frustrating that no one else fucking shares my shit. There's a couple of guys on Facebook that will do, and that's about it. But yeah, I'm sharing this, that, and the other. I'm sharing fucking other people's fucking hobbies. I'm sharing this. I'm sharing that. I'm sharing the other. And it just feels so frustrating sometimes that I'm not getting the same in return, But I guess it is what we're all busy. We're all busy with our own lives. A lot of people hate social media, so don't go on it. And I guess people follow so much fucking stuff that you're just scrolling through. Oh, there's a dog. Oh, there's a podcast. Oh, there's another podcast. Oh, there's someone with their trousers falling down. Oh, there's another. So you kind of think, I don't want to be a nice person anymore, but that's not my mentality. I kind of want to be a nice person to everybody, because you don't know what people are going through and all that kind of good stuff. So it's just me using YouTube as a moaning device, because I'm pretty sure no one will watch this. That's another thing that kind of annoys you. I've got 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, but my videos don't have 5,000 views. If I promote the podcasts, they don't get 5,000 listeners. The place I used to work for, I'm still within the same company, but I've just moved locations. The salesman would bitch and moan because their Facebook page has 10,000 followers, whatever you call them on Facebook, but they wouldn't get 10,000 comments, or they wouldn't get 10,000 shares, or they wouldn't get 10,000 likes, because I guess Facebook's probably algorithm-y wise, so the more something gets liked, then the more it gets pushed to new people. I guess that's how Facebook works with algorithms and bullshit. And he'd like bitch and moan, go, "Well, we've got all these people that like the page, but no one's commenting, or no one's liking, or no one's sharing." It's like, yeah, but that's fucking everywhere, mate. That's me. I've got 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't get 5,000 views a video. If I did, fuck me, that would be amazing. fucking wouldn't need to be fucking working in this fucking crap shack. But you know what I mean? It's like people, because people follow everything, you're going to miss stuff. And the way YouTube works, sorry, not YouTube, the way Facebook and that works is like this, it's algorithm based in it. So you will miss stuff. I looked on there the other day and I wasn't looking at stuff that was posted an hour ago. I was looking at stuff that was posted 6 days ago. And then you sit there going, am I having deja vu? I've seen this. And then you just keep scrolling down. It's like 4 days ago, 7. Why am I not looking at stuff that was posted 10 minutes ago? Why am I not looking at stuff that happened, today? What goes on with this shit? It's just social media for me. You kind of need it because you want to share your stuff and you want to get people to listen and watch whatever. But then in the next term, I want to turn it off. I want to throw it away. I want to have a fucking dumb phone because smartphones and all this kind of jazz just fucking annoys me. I was lucky enough to grow up in the 80s, the 90s. So I'm kind of, I remember dial-up. I remember fucking terrestrial TV. I remember a TV antenna on your fucking house when the weather was, or in your loft, and when the weather was warm in the summer, you'd get certain channels that you couldn't do in the fucking winter. I remember fucking, I remember Woolworths and all this kind of shit. This fucking thing is a fucking, it's a curse and a fucking, a delight at the same time. If I get lost, I can fucking ring somebody or I can use Google Maps. Whereas when you're a kid, if you got lost, tough shit, mate, you're going to get murdered by fucking Peter Sutcliffe, you know what I mean? But, and you can do so much with it, but you can also do so much harm with it as well. Like you can go on fucking Instagram or whatever, Twitter, and absolutely fucking annihilate somebody. And then 2 seconds later, you're looking at a fucking picture of a fucking cute dog, and then the next minute you're going, why am I looking at this fucking person? And unfollow them fucking, lisping fucking cake making cunts from fucking Norwich. Fuck you, Terry Bakes. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. No one's going to watch this shit. But yeah, it's just social media is handy and also not. Same as like ChatGPT and all this AI shit. It's handy, but it's also fucking like destroying the world and stuff. But yeah, so that's that. Come and say hello before I go mad. I'm leaving in a little bit because another half an hour I have to go pick up the wife from the road. But yeah, wearing my Tracy Smothers t-shirt today because it's 5 years today since we lost the wild-eyed Southern boy. But I don't think there's anything I've rabbited on for quite a while. But if you do watch this when it's not live, please do listen to my podcasts. Again, if you have any criticism, both negative and positive, please do contact me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. You contact me through my pages or whatever. But yeah, so you got every Saturday you got Memphis Continental Wrestling Cast, the original podcast, the UK's number one and only Memphis Wrestling podcast. Mondays we've got Mondays we're either Monday Night Project or Hamburg All Stars. Tuesdays is either Crossing the Mid-Atlantic or On Top of Hot Smoky, and then Sundays is Heat Stroke, but that's on its own free feed. But yeah, please do listen, please do share, please do enjoy. Leave a comment on your podcasty app of choice. We're on the Place to Be Wrestling. I think if you search the Place to Be Wrestling Network, then you'll find us on there. I don't think if you search just the name of the podcast, you will find it. I think you have to do it through. I think you will find it. If you just search for it, I think you'll find it. You'll see a episode there. So yeah, I think, but yeah, if not, go to the Place to Be Wrestling Network and you'll find it on there. So like I said, please do download, please do enjoy, please do listen, please do share, please do leave a review. Like I said, you may have a friend on your social media that likes wrestling, and then by you sharing my post, they'll see it and then they'll go, oh, wrestling. I like wrestling. I like listening to wrestling. I like watching wrestling. Blah 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 blah. And then they can share it, and then another friend go, oh, yeah, and then it passes it down. Passes the buck, passes the Dutchie from the left hand side, something like that. Anywho, so that's that. If you're watching this, youtube.com/MemphisCast or at MemphisCast, because you have to put the at in. New content is ending soon, or content. It's not new content. It's the whole reason why I got stopped from making money. That's a whole other situation. Patreon.com/MemphisCast, unforgettablevisión.com/old-bakery-productions for t-shirts. But if you just go to unforgettablevision.com, then you'll find me in there anyway. T-shirts, mugs, and any other crazy. Good lord, my beard is just going crazy. Any other merch that's on there. Yeah, I think that's it, right? The Place to Be Wrestling Network, the North-South Connection, and the Backburn Wrestling Network. There's a whole range of podcasts that cover no wrestling, they cover old school wrestling, they cover in the middle wrestling, they cover very modern wrestling. You've also got Greeks Around Town with Peter Winston and Katie Langston out at the minute every week. They sometimes get a bit with work and shit, but they can be found on all good podcast suppliers. You've also got Between the Sheets with David Bixenspan and Chris Zellner. Their podcast is based on covering what was said in The Observer, in Matchwatch, in the Pro Wrestling Torch from back in the day. So this week they've covered basically this week in 1995. They'll cover everything from 84 to 2015. I think they've done over 520 shows now, I think, every Monday. But yeah, so they'll cover what was said in these, and then they basically go, oh yeah, that was wrong. Actually, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. And also our Vantage Point, they are on YouTube. They watch WWF Superstars on a weekly basis. They have just, the Friday just gone, they covered the Superstars of Wrestling the day before WrestleMania 4. Tomorrow, over on Patreon, they are releasing their WrestleMania 4 watch-along show, patreon.com/Our Vantage Point, I think. But yeah, if you find them on YouTube, they're on there. They started covering Superstars of Wrestling when it was Championship in 1982. They're now in 1988. They've basically covered it week to week. I think when they first started, they were doing it fortnightly, and now they've changed to doing it weekly. They also cover pay-per-views. They are, I think next weekend is going to be Survivor Series 98 pay-per-view review. Again, patreon.com/Our Vantage Point or OVP Podcast. I think it's OVP Podcast. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Yeah, I've been your host, Mr. Luke Jennings. And until next time.